Hey everyone, I'm going to do a little live today to celebrate that I just got approved for the monetization for YouTube. Just the very first level, which basically means that 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscribers. And that's where you can give, if there's a video that let's say that you like a lot, you can go click on the corner. I think it's on the right corner. There's three dots and it's called Super Thanks, and they allow you to give a super thanks where you give monetarily for that video, in case there's someone who's moving to Zaragoza and they find a video that was particularly helpful for them, and maybe now you don't have to hire someone to do something for you, but you use my video to figure it out, so then you give me like a small contribution of support. Eventually I'm also going to have membership to the channel, and then I have a few more hundred watch hours that I need before I get to the full monetization. So I'm celebrating that I actually got this done, that you guys helped me out with this, with the watch hours and subscriptions and likes and comments. So thank you so much. And I want to talk about the most recent season change that we've had, because it is hot here. And that's one of the things that people love to bash on Zaragoza about, is the weather. It's very cold in the winter. It's very hot in the summer. So I talked to you a little bit in the winter about how we survive, the type of jackets that we wear, how we put the cover over our heads. And today I'm going to share with you a very Spanish thing that you might feel a little awkward about at first, but it's the abanico, or the hand fan. And you will find all the Spanish women around town fanning themselves with this everywhere you go. It's a lifesaver. Okay, so if you're not into the hand fan, then maybe you would like the battery operated fan. This is also very nice. In one of my recent videos, I'm wearing it. And so it has 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. And you just put it on and it cools you off. I actually went to like a type of parade the last weekend, and there was a man there who got really hot and he fell. And I didn't know what had happened, but I saw the police responding to him, and I saw some people fanning him with big signs. And so I took this over to him, and they were able to stop fanning him. And I put this on him, and he was able to get his body temperature cooled off some with this. So it was very helpful, and it's very nice to have. And when any of us are too hot, or if I want to keep the kids cool, I just switch it from person to person to make sure everyone's staying cool. Also, you want to use your water, of course. Make sure you have water. Make sure you walk in the shade. Make sure you have your fan, as long as you're comfortable using it. And then in your house, you probably want to have an electric fly swatter. These are very useful. They kill the flies a lot faster than the regular plastic ones that we have a lot of in the US. Now, we don't have a lot of flies, but sometimes they do get in, because a lot of the windows here don't have screens, in case you did not know that. Oh, look, it's telling me that sorry, live chat is currently unavailable. I don't know why that is, but I'm gonna continue anyways. Maybe you can, if you have a question or something, you can leave it in a comment. But okay, so the electric fan for inside of your house, which you can buy at the China store. Okay, now as I was saying, the screens on the windows, most windows here don't have screens, so that's something that you have to adapt to, because if you open the window to let the air flow at all, then you're going to get insects that come into your house. It's almost unavoidable to some degree. Okay, so then the other thing you can buy is this little fan here that people often use. I see them on the bus. I don't know if this one is charged, and I don't even know how to turn it on. Oh wait, there's a button here. Oh yes. So I have it. And my son actually takes this one to school. But you can set it on a table if you're having dinner outside or in a restaurant. You can set it here, and it's good for keeping the flies away from your table. Maybe also blowing some cigarette smoke away from your table, but also cooling you off. And it's charged with a USB. Can you hear it? It has multiple speeds. It's charged with a USB charger in the back. So same thing as the other one is. Okay. And my son takes this to school because sometimes the schools don't have a lot of AC in them. Or if they do, they keep the temperature up pretty high so that it's not very cool. It's just kind of survivable. Some schools here don't actually have air conditioning at all. So his school did have air conditioning, but not in his classroom, he says. So he and all the other kids took their little fans to school, and he said it cooled the room down. Just everyone having their own personal fan, it helped to cool the room down. Okay, so I wanted to show you something. If I'm able to, if this is working, it says share screen. I want to share with you that Zaragoza was recently ranked as one of the top 100 places to live, the Happy Index, that people are happy here, top 100 places to live where people are happy. So 741 points. This article was written by the aragondigital.com. You can find them on all the social media platforms. And they received all these points based on, my husband tells me there's no screen, but it says that I have a screen here. So am I there or not? Okay, so we have all of these points based on 741 points based on 6 categories. There's the citizens. Oh, I have to do this. So I have to do it over here and then go over there, I think. So the citizens for 126 points, governance, environment, economy, health, and mobility. This data reflect a positive evolution in the way the city responds to the real needs of the population, prioritizing urban well-being and sustainability. The report emphasizes that it's not just about designing policies, but also about implementing them in tangible ways. In this sense, Zaragoza has managed to position itself as an example of a medium-sized European city that promotes a balanced and realistic quality of life without relying on large budgets or megalomaniacal structures. Okay, so I'm going to show you now the actual website that has this on here. So this is the website. Hang on. Happy City Index. Here we are. See how we're number 85? It says that we're in line with Baltimore, Maryland here with the same score, 741 points. So right here, 741 points between Baltimore and Spain. So I have never been to Baltimore, Maryland, but you tell me if you live there. They are comparing Zaragoza happiness score to the Baltimore happiness score. Now, this is the top 100 that are here on and on and on. It goes actually more than 100, but I think it's pretty cool that Zaragoza is number 85 in the whole world for happy cities. Okay, so moving on. That was just something that I thought was interesting and worth sharing since this channel is all about, right now, all about living in Zaragoza. Okay, so the first year of Spanish schools, my son is supposed to be watching this, and he says that he's going to come in here and talk about the schools. So he went to 2 schools this year. He went to a concertado, and then he moved and went to a private school. So the concertado that he went to was not a good fit for us. Hang on, let us rearrange ourselves. Watch your feet, I don't want to hurt you.
I have arrived.
Okay. We can't see your face. Okay. Okay, so the first school was a concertado. It was a Spanish concertado, but actually with no fee for the tuition. So, and then we moved him to a private school, a private Spanish school, which is a small school. So I thought that he could talk about some things like that people tend to be interested in when it comes to schools. So one of those things is how the classroom was set up. So at the concertado, the classroom.
We were 25 people, but it was only fifth grade. At
Yeah.
this private school, there's 8 sixth graders, and there's 13 fifth graders.
So there's a
And
total
we
of.
were all in the same class.
So they have fifth and sixth grade grouped together in one classroom. So they
Yeah.
have the same teacher for 2 years, and then at the other school they have only the fifth grade in the classroom, and then they change every year, as far as we know. So and then the desk in the concertado were separated, unless they were doing a group project. They would bring the desk together. In the smaller private school that he went to, that he goes to, they had this desk always kind of like in a crescent moon shape. So they're always in a group of people, except for when they're taking test. When they're taking the test, they separate the desk and put them in rows. So they're always in a group setting. And at the concertado, what was the environment of the classroom like?
Loud. Whenever the teacher gets up, they would just like start screaming, cussing
Loud,
like
chaotic.
crazy.
Do you think that the other concertado that you went to in Madrid, that the environment of the classroom was similar to the concertado that you went to here?
No.
No. Which one was calmer?
The one in Madrid.
The one in Madrid was calmer. Even though I remember back then you talking about how it was loud and a little chaotic because it was more than what you had experienced when you went to a private British school that was very structured and orderly, and they made you raise your hand to talk and all this stuff. In the Spanish system, did they make you in Madrid raise your hand to talk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what did you call your teachers at the concertados in Spain?
Not only
by their first name. In the British school, you call them by Miss, Mr. That's kind of normal to what we do in the U.S. That's a big difference here, is that kids call their teachers by their first name, not by their last name with a little title in front of it. Okay, so what's something that the schools have done to help you learn Spanish? At the concertado in Madrid, they put you occasionally in an extra class.
Yeah. And at the one here in Spain, they also put me in another class.
But at the concertado in Madrid, they put you in an extra class, and it did not have to be approved by the Department of Education. That school made the decision to do that on their own with our pushing. It wasn't completely volunteer like that. It wasn't completely like their willingness, but we pushed them into doing that more and more to help you. Here, they wouldn't put you into a separate class until they had the approval from Aragon. You can go back to the video about the school system here that I've already done to find out about how to get help for your kid for the language. They can get a certain label put on them that anyone can qualify for who's late to enroll in the Spanish system and who is behind in the language, which any foreigner who moves here is going to be late to the Spanish system and behind in the language unless they're starting school here at 3 years old. And then they're still possibly going to be behind in the language, but they're not going to give extra help to a 3-year-old. They'll give you extra help once you get into the primary grades. Okay, so let's go into the new school, Josiah, the school that you go to right now that you absolutely love. What have they done to help you with your education here? What have they done to help you adapt to the school system?
Like, I don't know. They give me like 3 hour like for the test. They let me
They give you extra time for the test.
Yeah.
And because you don't really like to be in big noisy groups, it's hard for you to be in big noisy groups. I found out about this product called Loop, and they come in a little pack, but they're ear plugs. They're not silencers. They don't silence. Hang on just a second, okay? They don't remove the sound completely. They decrease it. And I bought him the transparent ones, and then they come with these multiple sized for your ears, okay? So you choose what works for you, and he is going to show you how they work. So at the school he goes to now, it's not that the classroom is noisy, but he has a chorus class, and that is extra loud because of the music. But right now he has them in his ears. Get closer so they can see. You can barely swoop. That's your nose. You can barely see them, and you can hear me, right? Sit up, sit up,
Yeah.
sit up. Yeah, you have no problem hearing me. So he's going to wear them, and he's going to be talking to me, and you're going to see that they're not silencers. They're just reducers. They reduce the background noise, so they would be good for kids with autism, or other kids who have noise sensitivity, who can't tolerate large or very loud sounds. And so they come in this little case, and he just keeps it in his book bag. And whenever he needs it, he takes it out of his book bag, and his teacher's totally fine with it. And they're transparent, and so they don't stand out that much. And so, yeah, they've been great for him. And so this has been helpful, and the school that he goes to has been willing for him to use them. Do you want to?
Sure.
Okay. So he wants to share that that he came to Spain, and it was actually in Spain that he got a diagnosis for low level autism,
And also ADHD.
and ADHD. So he not only has the language to learn and the late entry into the school, but he has the diagnosis of the low level autism and ADHD. So that's why he has the noise, that he doesn't like the loud noises in the chaotic environments, and he needs that extra help for a peaceful environment. So the school that he goes to now, they actually have a garden outside. And so anytime that he started to feel stressed in the classroom, they would allow him to go outside and work in the garden, because that's something that he likes to do. And then they also have a corner in the classroom.
Yeah, it's called the Oasis, and above it they have everybody. Everybody has a letter that they have hung up in the class. So
yeah, with the picture on it. But within the corner of the classroom, there are activities that they can do to calm them down.
games,
Hands-on activities in the corner of the classroom. Now, if you look at the law for Spain, and I happen to have his Aragon approval for having the extra help with the language, and within that, it says that the classrooms in Spain or in Aragon are supposed to have a quiet corner where kids who have the need can go over there and use it. Unfortunately, even though that's apparently written in the law for Aragon,
they don't.
The schools don't actually all have that.
At the first school that I was here, I was in Zaragoza here, but when we moved back here.
Yeah, you went to a public school for a couple of weeks by choice.
Yeah, and they didn't have anything there.
They
and
didn't
the
have
other
it.
Concertado, they didn't have anything there.
They didn't have it there, and they also had the attitude of that, like, because you were there for 2 weeks, they were like, oh, we don't think that he has autism because he's friendly with the other kids. So a lot of Spain, a lot of people in this country don't understand fully what autism is, or the different levels of autism and the different way that it can affect you. So not all kids have a verbal communication problem, as in like, I can't talk, they have a different issues that classifies them, like the old Asperger's is now called the low level autism. And so if you ever knew someone with Asperger's, like let's say in the 80s and 90s, the early 2000s, they now would be classified as having level 1 autism instead of being told that they have Asperger's. They moved that into the autism category. And because of that, traditionally, someone who might behave like someone with Asperger's, it's not the normal stereotype of autism. And so here, I'm sorry, but the experience with people is not as advanced as it is in the United Kingdom, in Australia, and in the United States, where a lot of the science on autism happens. There's still a lot of lack of knowledge and information here, so you really have to advocate for your kids. But I will tell you, in Zaragoza, we have had no major issues finding English-speaking doctors. No major issues getting any type of medication that we needed. And in Madrid is where we actually got the diagnosis at a place with English. So these things are possible here, and this is where we have been getting it done. I didn't get the stuff done in the United States or in Mexico. And also, the cost is a lot lower here for getting the evaluations and stuff. So anyhow, these are ear silencers, noise, not silencers, but decreasing the volume. And I thought that it would be interesting for him to tell you about the lunge.
lunch.
The lunch at your current school, we don't know what the lunch was like at your concertado because you never went
Yeah.
there. But the lunch at your current school, you only went twice
Well,
at the end of the year,
They don't
or 3 times.
They don't eat meat there.
Oh yeah, but the school is meatless.
Yeah.
But besides that, what was the food like?
Well,
Try not to bump
it's
the
like
table.
it's like normally we have like in the first thing we have.
They serve you plates, right?
Yeah.
Like plate 1, plate 2. So in Spain, there's this thing called the menu. In any restaurant that you go to in the middle of the day for the mediodía meal is going to have almost all of them have a menu. So it's like you choose a plate from the first section and then a plate from the second section.
We didn't do that.
And then you get a dessert and a drink.
Yeah.
So the way the school lunch is set up is that they have a first plate and then a second plate and then a drink.
Yeah, but
and
it's
a
not
dessert.
optional. You get.
It's not optional. You don't get to choose. But the culture of the menu process.
What it was on my first day, the first thing every single day that we have that is there, it's like a salad, but the bowl's like this big. And then it's like they put
foot long,
it's like
12 inches long.
Yeah,
wow. A foot.
And it's
in
like
the
they
US.
put lettuce in there, and then they put other stuff in there, like cucumber, tomato, corn, olives.
And then what's your second plate?
Well, broccoli soup with potato.
So healthy, fresh food.
Or maybe bean soup.
Bean soup.
Well,
And-
we did. Also, they did make the other day for the second plate. I mean, for the third plate, they did have pizza, but it wasn't your pizza with pepperoni. It was literally a piece of bread, Spanish bread, with cheese and tomato on there.
Yeah.
And then they do sometimes. They once gave me an orange, and also they will give you ice cream afterwards after you're done.
And do they ever restrict you from you can have more, or like if you want more food, can you have more food?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we pay,
unless it's out, and then they're not going to go to El Campo to get more.
Yeah, and so they have different cost. I know everyone wants to know about cost. So the food has different costs. You can pay normally at the schools, you can pay per month, or you can pay for a certain number of them, or you can pay for individuals. Like if you don't plan on your kids staying for lunch at school, then you wouldn't want to sign up for the monthly cost. You would just want to say, whenever I need it, if I need it, I'll use it. And so that's what we did. He stayed 3 times. It was €9 each. 4? No, 3. It was €9 each. It would probably be close to like half of that if I signed up and paid for the monthly thing. But then our school also has an option where you can buy 20 in advance, which is a little bit less expensive than the 9, and it would give him 20. That's probably what I'm going to do next year. Still not doing the monthly thing, but letting him have 20 per academic year that he can do. Okay, so I've talked about the weather, and that is actually like over. I haven't told you the temperatures.
Yeah, today the high is 106.
No.
107.
Okay.
Well, the real feel, at 1 o'clock, it was 100. Real feel, 107.
Okay, well, this says right now that it's 104 degrees. This is in Fahrenheit.
And the real feel?
And the real feel is 105. And the humidity is 19%. So if you compare this to, say, Florida or Texas, it's not that bad, because if it's like 90 or 95 in Florida, it will easily feel like 100, 115 because the humidity is so high. So it's just a really dry heat, like an oven or a dryer or a convection oven, where the air is blowing when the wind is blowing. It's like a dryer or a convection oven. So yeah, that's different here because the heat is different. But we survive by going to the pool and walking in the shade.
Oh yeah.
We got our marriage registered finally. That's like a life update. So we've officially done all the paperwork here. Now we're just waiting to receive it back, the documentation back. I passed the driving test, which I've already put that on a video, and I'm currently taking my in the car driving lessons, driving classes to learn about the streets here and driving in them. I am going to have membership soon on my YouTube channel, but if you have a particular video that's on my channel that you like or that has been helpful to you, you can click the 3 buttons on the bottom of the video and you can give a super thanks to give some support. I think that's all. So thank you for watching and for subscribing and liking and all the things that go along with doing this. I like doing it, but what I don't like is that part. Okay, self-promotion part. I don't like that part. But anyways, if you happen to have any questions when I end this, you can leave a comment and then I'll answer them since the chat's not working and I can't answer your questions live. And I'll do this again later if you have any upcoming questions that you want to know about moving to Zaragoza, or you want me to look at apartments for you. I will look at apartments for you. I can help call places. You will have a hard time doing that from a distance. I dare say it's impossible to do independently on your own if you're not here. If it's something that you want to do on your own, you're going to have to wait until you get here in order to do it safely and not be taken advantage of or ripped off in any type of way. And so I can do that for you, but you need to talk to me. Don't make a consultation with me on the Setmore app to do that. You need to send me a message that you want to do that, and we can arrange that apart from everything else. Okay, so thank you for watching, and we will see you later.
Bye bye.
Adios. Hasta luego.